All right, how you doing? Video today on the jazz minor scale, which really is just melodic minor ascending. So I want to make a video to give you 4 different applications of this scale in jazz improvisation. It's maybe like the next step after you've already used, I don't know, some Dorian scales or some other chord scales. This is another thing that will give you a different sound, but it's one scale with 4 different applications. Here's the scale. So again, melodic minor ascending, but we do the same scale in a traditional melodic minor. We have an ascending scale, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but then on the way down it changes to flat 7, flat 6. In this jazz minor scale, we're calling it jazz minor, it's going to be the same up and down, and you can see it on the board. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, same up and down. All right, application number 1 is going to be just this scale as a root position scale based off of the chord. For example, if the chord is a D minor chord, now specifically not a D minor 7, but a D minor chord. So a 6-9 chord, and I'll give you an example on the piano in a second, but like a D minor 6-9 chord or a D minor major 7, which is really going to be like a 6-9 chord, that would be our first application. So application number 1 of this, it's pretty logical, but D minor chord, D minor scale. D minor chord, D minor jazz, D jazz minor scale. So here's the application on the piano. Now I'm going to be playing the D minor, the D jazz minor. I'm going to play that scale, but I'm going to play a C minor on the piano for transposition purposes. So here is, there's my C minor 6-9. That's how that scale works over a C minor chord, application number 1. All right, application number 2 was really great. When I was taught this at Temple University more than 30 years ago, about 35 years ago, by an unbelievable saxophone player named Larry McKenna. Larry McKenna. If you don't know Larry, please go check him out. Just a wonderful player, in my opinion, the world's greatest. But anyway, a great teacher as well. So he was teaching me these jazz minor ideas. So the second application is if you have a dominant chord, in this example, a G7, but it's got to have a natural 9. So G7 with a natural 9, you can go to the 5th degree of G, which if I'm thinking about if G is 1, G, A, B, C, D. D is 5, and I can use that jazz minor, which is my D jazz minor. So if I have a dominant chord with a natural 9, I can go to the 5th of the dominant chord and play that jazz minor. So notice here, there's my G, there's my root, there's my 3rd, there's my 5th, there's my flat 7 for the G7, there's my 13, the C sharp functions as a sharp 11. So we have all of this, but the real easy rule, dominant chord, natural 9, go to the 5th degree of this. G7, the 5th degree of G is a D. I'll show it to you on the piano. All right, so once again, I'm gonna be playing the transposed chord, like the F7, so that I can do this D jazz minor on the saxophone. So here would be the F7. Now, if I have a natural 9, I go to the 5th degree, which if I'm talking G7 on the saxophone, I go to the D. probably heard that sound. That's that Cry Me a River quote. All right, third application. Now this one, I mean, the second application was great. Dominant chord with a natural 9, go to the 5th degree, play that jazz minor. That one really blew my mind 35 years ago. I was thinking, wow, that's such an amazing sound. But this one, when Larry showed me this one really just, it was amazing. Because I had heard this sound before, but I had no idea what it was. So if you have a dominant chord with a flat 9, so I'm just gonna use the same scale, D jazz minor. So if you have a dominant chord, or C sharp 7, you would actually go to the flat 9, which in this case, remember the 9 is the same as 2. So normally in a C sharp scale, 2 would be a D sharp. But if we flat that, now it would be a D. So I go to the flat 9, which now would be a D, and play that scale over, sorry, erased a little bit of the 6, play that scale over a C sharp 7 flat 9. So when the dominant chord has a flat 9, it could also have sharp 5, but flat 9, sharp 9, flat 9, all of that's implied. When it has a flat 9, you go to the flat 9 and play, or up a half step from the root, whichever one you want to think, but you go to the flat 9 and play that jazz minor. So if over a C sharp 7 flat 9, I would play a D jazz minor, because D is the flat 9 in a C sharp 7. I'll show it to you on the piano. All right, so here is the chord again. C sharp 7 flat 9 on the tenor sax, but I'm going to be playing what would be the concert key, which would be B 7 flat 9. So there's the chord. So that would give me this if I did the Cry Me a River sound. Now, in my voicing, I told you before I can imply a sharp 9, flat 9, and sharp 5. So let me voice it. Root, 5th, 3rd, actually, let me do this. Root, 3rd, sharp 5, flat 7, flat 9, sorry, sharp 9, flat 9. So root, flat 7, 3rd, sharp 5, sharp 9, flat 9. And that's where we get this sound. Anyway, so that sound, really a great sound. So if you have a dominant 7 with a flat 9, go up a half step from the root, which would be the flat 9, and play the jazz minor based off of that note. C sharp 7 flat 9, D jazz minor. All right, fourth application and last one. Now, I never knew what to do really with a minor 7 flat 5 chord. That was always a mystery to me. I just would arpeggiate it, root, 3rd, 5th, flat 7, so. But I never really knew what to do with it melodically to be able to play a line over it. So, again, Larry showed me this fourth application of the jazz minor. So this would be, if you have a minor 7 flat 5 chord, you can go to the third of the minor 7 flat 5 chord, which in this case, a B minor 7 flat 5. The third would be a D. So B, C, D. D would be the third in that chord, and you would play that jazz minor. B minor 7 flat 5, when you have a flat 5 chord, you go to the third of the chord and play the jazz minor. In this case, B minor 7 flat 5, D jazz minor. I'll show it to you on the piano. Okay, so here's the chord. Now in this case again, on my saxophone it's B minor 7 flat 5, but concert pitch would be A minor 7 flat 5. So I would go to the third. There's my root, there's my second, there's my third. On the saxophone that would be a D. On the piano it's a C. So there is the minor 7 flat 5 with the jazz minor. Now, the way this works, if you put these together, for example, so I'll just do it in a concert. Well, I'll do it in the tenor. So B minor 7 flat 5. Then if that was a 2 chord, the 5 chord would be an E7 with a flat 9 going to A minor. Concert pitch, A minor 7 flat 5. D, I added a sharp 5 and a flat 9 to G minor. But that gives you these sounds. So if I do just the formula, the applications, minor 7 flat 5, the third degree of the minor 7 flat 5 chord, up a half a step from the root. When you have a flat 9 chord, remember, you use that jazz minor. And then, root position. So, all right, so here are our 4 applications that I went over. If you've got a minor chord, you use the root scale. Example, D minor, 6/9, D jazz minor, starts on the root. If I've got a 5/7 chord with a natural 9, 5/7 with a natural 9, I go to the 5th degree of the 5 chord. For this example, if I had a G7 with a natural 9, I would go to the D jazz minor, G, A, B, C, D. D is 5. If I have a 5/7 chord, a dominant chord, with a flat 9, so let's say a C sharp 7, flat 9, I would go up a half a step to the flat 9. So C sharp 7, up a half step, a D natural, D jazz minor. And then if I had a minor 7 flat 5, let's say B minor 7 flat 5, B minor 7 flat 5, I would go to the 3rd degree of that, which is a D. So there are my 4 different applications. I hope this helps. Again, learn your jazz minor scales. There's other names for it, but melodic minor ascending up and down, and it can really give you a lot of expanded sounds for these different chords. Hope this helps.